This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today we are going to be talking about the first major event that has happened for Bt-08. So we're going to check out all the decks that are topping like crazy. So let's check out the top 32. So we're going to check out the top 32. We have at least a bunch of players here. This was the first regional, so this is really cool to see what kind of decks are. It looks like the major majority is, going to be Yellow Rapid Hybrid and Blue-Green Imperial Digimon are kind of like the go-to. There are a splash of other decks mixed in, but I feel like this is what our format's going to break down to: Blue-Green Imperial Digimon and Yellow Rapidmon. So let's dive into the first place deck list. So we're going to open as an image so that we can see it. So first off, we're going to take a look at it. So we have the Patas, the Salas, which is kind of normal. The Pata is basically when you minus DP something and it dies, instantly, gain 1 memory. So this can definitely help out with Rapidmon, especially if they have a rookie out. You pop it, instantly Rapidmon replaces itself. Yellow Memory Boost to help filter and get in cards you need. I kind of see where it's coming from because Eden's Javelin is really massive, and especially if your hand gets really big, over time, it can start chipping away on the bigger boss Digimon. And Yellow Hybrid might be the go-to the way it goes. We got the Zoes and the TKs and 4 Codys. Really interesting to see the low end of this being only 12 Tamers, which I kind of get it because Jet Sylphie. Why no Kari is the question, because there's no Jet Sylphie thing kind of going on where, Jet Sylphie can be free, but I kind of get what's going on. Fall down mode here is basically free recovery 1. You're not going to have any of the color dependencies here, so you won't have the purple, but when it dies, instantly get something else. So it does help out. You got a really solid lineup here. Next, let's go into the next one. This is the blue-green deck for Vmon. So we're going to take a quick look here. Let's see. We have Vmon's Jamming Vmon, Vmon from EX1 that gains 1 memory. This is the Draw Vmon, aka Warp Vmon, but you're not going to be using it for its warping, just for that draw. You have Vmon that is just top deck searcher. You got X Vmon, you got Stingmon, you got Rydramon, and then you got Kumamon with Pyildramon and Dino B and Imperial Digimon Dragon mode and Fighter mode. No Paladin mode in sight, which I kind of get because it is a more win more card at times, and you might not need Paladin mode. So just food for thought there. We have Davis and Ken. At least 2 of those is not bad. Hammer Spark 4, Blue Memory Boost 3, 1 Ice Wall, Hidden Potential Discover at 1, Demi Vmon, and Upamon. So what I'm probably going to start noticing is that we're going to be playing a lot more Mem Boosts in this format, and that's just because we don't have Mulligan in our regionals. So Mem Boost might be more important than ever. So you might start seeing, after a little bit of shifting in the blue decks and maybe some of the other decks, that start bringing in negations so that they can counteract some of this Mem Boost stuff, So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a small change if we see heavy Mem Boost. X Vmon, another Imperial Digimon list with 1 Paladin mode, which with Hidden Potential Discover, he's a 2 cost, so it's not terrible. Megadeth is really good option anyway because it can remove heavy threats, because being able to bounce that big boss Digimon back, and especially against X antibodies and stuff like that, that bouncing that and removing it off the board is huge for that. So, and what's really nice is the Mimi is a really nice tech because you are half green in most instances. So now you're just basically, once you get into your ultimate line, you can bring in rookies and start fueling with Mimi. So it's not a bad trade-off. You have Demi Vmon, no, just to gain advantage with the X Vmon here. No regular Vmon, but that's fine. You have a bunch more searchers. 4, 8, 12, 14 rookies. Not a bad lineup. I see where he's coming from with this Vmon here. Being at 4 is not a bad idea. But, the Stingmon's just in there for 3 costs, so you can just play it and then instantly Jograss or DNA Digivolve into Pyeldramon or Dino Beamon. Just one of those kind of trade-off things. Now let's go on to the one, two, three, fourth place. So this is another. This was Blue Hybrid. Surprisingly, you thought this deck was dead. He likes coming back. So you know what, Blue Hybrid definitely surprising people. But it's Gabumon Hybrid. So it's not all about, stunning. It'll stun a bit, but it has OTK potential here because Magna and, what is his name? Gabumon Bonds of Friendship kind of just bounced that level 5, especially in that blue-green matchup. Being able to bounce the Pyeldramon out of here is going to help out a lot more than not. So you have Sora, Joe, Tommy, Davis, Matt, Hammer Sparks, Howlings, stun tactics are all in this, but also having the Monoki Beta helps. Beowulfmon, Lobomon, Kokori Kakumon, and Kumamon. Kind of just seems like this might be the go-to. You have the Gabumons, Mad Ishidas, Koryumons and Upamons, Ice Walls, the just fun 9 yards. Let's just open next one. Another Imperial Dramon list. Flashing in 2 Chimeramons. I think, even though you did really well with this, I don't think Chimeramon's the go-to in that. I think Chimeramon, yes, is a great card, but you want to use Dino Beamon, especially in certain matchups that you want to have ways of suspending Digimon. I think Dino Beamon suspends something, if I remember correctly. If it loads up, let's go back. That's really nifty. It hard links. So let's take a look at Dino Beamon real quick. We got Chimeramon, but let's see here. Dino Beamons is basically suspend one of your opponent's Digimon when DNA Digital. That Digimon doesn't unsuspend until its owner's next unsuspend phase. That's huge. Being able to lock down any of their big boss Digimon, really, really important. So, that's big. So, I mean, hey, that's gonna make some big plays. So next, we do have another. This is the same guy. Did I grab the same person? Nope. Maximum and Mammalian have the same list. Really interesting. Another Chimeramon, but one Dino Beamon. Very similar list. Ice Wall, Megadefs. Megadef is such a huge card, especially a 5 cost. You just get that thing off the board kind of status. It's really good. We got the Vmon lines, jamming Vmon, more pressure with the demis. It's a choice in the matter if you want to run it or not. That's really on you. There's nothing really, I wouldn't say it's a bad choice, or it's not even that good. I think it's going to be up to the player's decision on that, because if you value Demi Vmon with a Vmon with jamming, you swing in, especially if you have the Armor Purge here. So if you have Lydramon, this card Armor Purging back into jamming Vmon after it swings in. It's not terrible. It's actually a pretty sound strategy, so it's not bad. So that's kind of what you're going to be dealing with. Next, we have Yellow Purple Hybrid. Ooh. Chaos Degradation, Swarmers, Reinforced Memory Boost, Suzanos, Patamons, Salamons. Then you have Kazes, the whole 9 yards. But here's the more realistic what I would think would happen. You have War Greymon here. You have, Cody's. You have TK Kari. You have Kari, Purple Kari, just so your options are live. TK, Zoe. Chaos Degradation is huge, I think. This is a very important option. I think, yes, in security it sucks because you give them free recovery. But if you remove their boss Digimon, especially since we're in a boss Digimon heavy centric format, especially if they hit this now pretty much guarantees you're going to remove that off the threat. There is a lot of major X antibody protection that I noticed, especially playing against that deck. it has a built-in protection that is basically either minus it or bounce it kind of status, and you want to be able to remove it. That's kind of the end goal here. Next, let's go into another blue-green. So we have one Pyildra, Dino Beamon, and Pyildra, Imperial Dramon, sorry. We have one Imperial Dramon Paladin mode. We have, regular fighter mode. And then we have the trial deck, Megadef, of course. Like, if you're going to do well with this, use your Megadefs. Get Megadefs. It's going to save you time and energy. I really do think so. Next, another yellow hybrid. Wyvern's Breath, Eden's Javelin. This is just pure yellow. So you're going to have like this double weird thing. We're going to either have pure hybrid yellow hybrids, or we're going to have purple yellow hybrid. So you're going to be very interesting to see which one after a little while we'll get more data, and we'll see which deck kind of just takes that line up. So that's what we're going to just try to see. Next one, we do have another blue hybrid. Blue Jograss DNA Digivolve. So you have Demi Vmon, yellow Vmons. Again, it's really going to come down to what you find important in your lineups, especially just seeing how things go off. Hammer Spark, Megadefs, this deck likes to OTK. It's going to OTK you. So there's just nothing around that you can do. But I think this is you're going to find this very stock list is just going to be the go-to. You're going to see this kind of ratios. So next, we do have another yellow hybrid. So this is pure again. Cupimon at 4, 1 at Upas. I like that idealism, just because maybe Cupimon's the more go-to and Upas should be the one of. It's going to be very interesting to see. Kari's, another Kari, TK Kari. Like, this is a solid lineup here. Zoe at 3, Susanamon at 2, Fall Down at 1, and then you're just board controller swinging in. Wyvern's Breath, yellow memory boost, reinforced memory boost. It's just going to be a fun time to have. So we're going to see a lot of this going on. And then we have Mastamon. So we haven't seen really Mastamon yet, so it's going to be quite interesting. So we have Demi Mera, Tapirs, Gazes, Lavamons, Gatomons, Black Gatos, Magnum Angemon, Lady Devas, Lucamon Fall Down mode. I think this should just be at 2. I think 3 is a little too much. Angemon at 2. Yeah, I think this should be swapped. I get where you're trying to get the ratios and stuff like that, or even just put this out and then put in one more Mega. But Mastamon, Omnimon Sword defeats. TKs, not a bad choice on the TK, actually, because grabbing from your security really does help out. Purple memory boost, just to fetch purple cards you need. Dead or Alive, really powerful card. So I kind of see what they're going with. Because if Dead or Alive is hit in security, Usman, Chaos, this form comes out for free basically, pops a Tamer or a Digimon. So it's you get your advantages when you can. Flame Hellscythe at 3, Chaos Degradation, Reinforced Memory Boost, and Demi Meramon. Next is another blue Jograss or DNA Digivolve. So Imperial Dramon, whatever you want to call it. There's going to be just so much names for these things. Davis and Ken, Hammer Sparks. We have Blue Memory Boost, Megadeth, Hidden Potentials, Ice Walls, Demi Vmons. You know this is just the go-to tamer, this Digitama this time around. So we have X-Vmon, Stingmons, Lydramon, Lobamons, just the 9-yard fun stuff. And it's just going to do what you want. I think this is just what we're going to expect all around. Now let's get another yellow hybrid, Rapidmon hybrid. Holy Flame might be quite useful because at least if this is hit, it can minus the DP for the turn and you're not going to die to weird things. But yellow memory boost looks like it's kind of go-to is yellow memory boost is your kind of mandatories here. Reinforced memory boost and all the fun stuff. I think extending your plays and getting into your big guys for a lot cheaper might help out. Cupimon, Upamons, Pata's guaranteed, Salamon's guaranteed, the whole fun 9 yards. So, next, we do have purple yellow hybrid. Very interesting list. Zyomon with Gazes, definitely to help counter the blue matchup, and that really does help out. Or anything that uses a Mem boost. You know, nothing too crazy here. We got Dynasmon, Seraphimon, you know, Shine Greymon, Suzanomon, Zoe, TK Kari, Kari Purple, TK, Takumi Abia. So I see what they're going with. It's not actually for the negation of the rookie swing. It's actually for the draw boost, which isn't bad because sometimes, especially when you aren't playing that many Digievolution targets, that one Digievolution target can lead to like 5 card draws because Takumi will let you draw a bunch of cards. So I think that's a very smart play to probably boost up what you need to do. So work Lasingers, Chaos Degradation, Tactical Retreats, Blinding Ray, Reinforced Memory Boost, all the 9 yards of fun, good stuff. I think this is a pretty solid list. Next list, we got a X antibody list. This is the one I was waiting to see. Let's see what's going on here. So actually, it's not terrible. This list is actually pretty solid. I think Sensorimon being at 4 might be a little too much, but outside of that, there's nothing I don't like about this list. So what's happening is that Alphamon is not actually the go-to target this time around. It's actually this thing. So Oriumon has a based-in ability that basically has self-protection that prevents it from being deleted by card effects and anything like that. So the only way you're going to do it is minusing his DP off the board, which he's kind of beefy on both turns, or bouncing it off the board. So with the self-protection that also has reboot, you're not going to be swinging into him very easily. You need to apply a lot of power and pressure to get over his threshold, and that's huge. So yeah, Breath of the Gods. This card is just nasty, especially depending on when you use it. You can just DDG Evolution and boom, now you get to pop something and then you put a source underneath, which could be anything. It's got a very consistency of Jessamon feel. Black Memory Boost, you know, Metal Cannons, just 9 yards, everything. Breath of the Gods is probably one of the best cards because now at least you can get around your weakness of minusing DP if they're going to just try to minus it off the board. Next, we got Blue Hybrid yet again. This card is just a stock Blue Hybrid list. Rattlestar, basically just there just to get rid of things that you normally wouldn't be able to get rid of. But outside of that, nothing too crazy. It's stock. I'm not even going to waste our time. Next, let's talk about it. We got a red Ancient Greymon here. This is very interesting. So, I see what they're trying to do. Rowdy Rocker is really interesting because if you didn't get the Piercer underneath it originally, you can put it underneath it. But this thing is just build a big stack, like this high, and swing in for 9 security checks and don't give a fuck. That is just basically what this deck is trying to do. It is all about that beat stick. It's all about getting that big tall stack and calling it a day. That's all I can tell you about that. So we also have, you know, the blues, you know, Jograss, DNA, Digievolution, you know, Demivimon, Upamons, and, you know, Pyildras, Imperial Dramons. You know, again, Paladin mode is hit or miss at this moment, so just keep that in mind. We also have another list here. Not bad. I mean, it's Pyildramon and Paladin modes and Imperial Dramons. You know, it's all the fun stuff. Just Megadeth, just being the best option it can be. We got another fun one. Fun one in that we have Cupimon, Upamons, and all the fun stuff of Yellow Hybrid. It's just basically Yellow Hybrid Rapidmon. The being able to suspend with Rapidmon is huge, and minusing the board by 5k on 3 targets is huge. I love that. Next, let's talk about it. We get Mastemon back again. So Mastemon with TK and Linkari, Flame, Health Size, Purple Mem Boost, and Chaos Degradation. Get Gazes, Saichimon, so that if they're trying to play their stuff hardcore, they have to at least, you can't reduce the cost. So basically that's all you want to do. Gatomon, Black Gatomon, Mastemon, Magna Angemon, Lady Deva, Lucemon, Chaos Mode. We also have, or Fall Down Mode, Chaos Mode, I think. Purple Lucemon, Chaos Mode. Okay, that's the keyword I was looking for. Chaos Mode, Angemon, Lady Deva, and then Maste, Ophanimon, Fall Down Mode. You know, Zwart Defeat, X Antibody, which is not a bad call, especially if you get the stack huge. That makes it so they can't swing for a couple turns, and you just go for that kills. So TK, and I've already talked about all this. This is just all good stuff. Next one, let's go into it. Yellow Hyrbid again. Salamons, and this Salamon really interesting. This one lets you draw. That's really interesting. I wouldn't expect this one, but if you're at 3 security, you draw a card. Okay. Kazes, you know, Zarafas, Jet Sylphie. We've already talked about this. Holy Flame, and then, you know, just answer galore. Just keep that in mind. Open image. Another X Antibody. So, Breath of the Gods seems like the go-to option in this format, just to try to counteract the yellow. But again, you're still in this weird limbo state. So we're going to have to see what happens. So, next, we also have another yellow-purple hybrid. So, Holy Wave. So, more ways of not dying. But I think this might be a secret sauce that this deck might start playing more of, just so it can draw more. I think that's just what we're going to start seeing. Demi, Vmon. We're almost at the end, boys. Nidhogg is a surprise here, so that board wipes. So, this is really solid. So next, we got Rapidmon, Jet Sylphie, you know, the fun stuff. So, nothing too crazy here. I think this is pretty solid. We're not going to see much else out of that. So let's see. Another yellow hybrid. Nothing too crazy out of here. We're just seeing the basic stuff you would normally see. Another one. Same thing. Kari in here with no other purple options finds it weird. I get it, because when you swing in, you can negate some of their turn. So that can be useful. We get another yellow. Not bad. It's just pure yellow. We're just going to go over the same stuff. So yellow. Another yellow here. Same thing. Nothing too crazy on it. The list isn't terrible. Nope. Man. We'll grab that second to last one that I had. So that was you. So we'll open you up. So same thing. Yellow hybrid. It's just everywhere. And then Juju. Open image. We're just seeing the same stuff. Purple, if you're adding purple or not, that's kind of your thing. But it's just basically Patamon, Rapidmon with Go Yellow Hybrid. That's just what the deck is trying to be. And I think this is really solid of a list. So what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear it. And this was the top 32 from the Limitless event. So this was pretty solid from the Card Market Digimon May 2020 Regionals. So I think this was a pretty solid list. Let me know, and I'll catch you next video. Peace!